In today's video, we are going to go on another estate sale adventure, and we're gonna go back to Beverly Hills, which is one of my favorite areas to go to estate sales in for obvious reasons. And we're gonna pop around to 3 different estate sales together. I'm gonna take you through, give you my thoughts, shop around on the final day of all of these estate sales, and see what we can find for hopefully good deals. Over the last, I would say like 4 or 5 years, I have really loved going to estate sales and documenting them on this channel. It's so much fun for me. Estate sales can range from someone passed away to someone's moving to someone's downsizing, and I really think it's fun to, I've said this before, like see what people have collected throughout their lifetime. And low-key, respectfully, I love going through people's stuff. Like, it's just so fun for me. So if you are also nosy like me and want to spend a day together going into 3 different estate sales in Beverly Hills on a Sunday, hop in, we're going, let's do it. All right, we are outside the first estate sale. It's about 15 minutes until they open. This is definitely the nicest area in the hills that I've ever been to for an estate sale, so I imagine it's gonna be very, very busy. But this house actually has some pretty awesome lore behind it. So this is the estate of Bentley Morris. It says he was a larger-than-life figure who founded Holloway House, the influential publishing house known for championing a generation of Black writers whose work was unapologetic, widely read, and pop culturally significant. This is the final day for all of these estate sales. I'm not sure if I've said that yet. So I think everything is 50% off, which I think for some people is like a benefit because it's like more discounts, but for other people it's like not much is left. So let's head inside and see. I knew this estate sale was going to be good right off the bat because first of all, look at this view in the neighborhood, but there was already a long line and I had never been somewhere where they had security. Like, they had hired security, you had to get a ticket, it was a whole system to get let in, single file, very strict, but we made our way in slowly but surely. They also had a car that was for sale that they ended up marking down because it was the final day and they couldn't confirm whether or not it was running. So that was just kind of funny, but we waited patiently, maybe only for like 10 minutes or so, and then we got let into the estate sale. All this beautiful stone everywhere was gorgeous. Made our way into the living room first, and there was kind of a library. There was a TV VCR combo, but they could not confirm if it worked or not, and I didn't want to spend like $100 on that. I feel like if there was an estate sale bingo card, a piano would definitely be on it, maybe even the free space, I'm not sure, but there were lots of really cute pillows, cushions, blankets, loved that chandelier, tons of china, like ranging from fine china all the way to just everyday glassware, dishware, tons of stuff. I loved both of these trays. These ones with birds on them were so cute. I think those would be adorable in like a coffee area. I love a fruit plate. We all know that. I decided to refrain because I have too many. Again, this little puppy tote bag, so cute, but I have way too many. I really liked this fruit kind of baking dish, serving dish, but it was time to make our way to the close. This purse wall. Are you kidding? This is so deeply iconic. I love it so much. I can only imagine how many purses were there on the first day because it was so crowded on the day that I was here on the last day, and things were flying off of the shelves and people were grabbing things. But look at all of these fun purses. There was everything ranging from vintage to newer stuff, tons of patterns, like everything in between. Tapestry bags, some designer, some Dooney and Burke. There was so much to choose from. Lots of really cute shoes. I always tend to run into the issue that most of these lovely ladies who I go to their estate sales have tiny feet, so wasn't for me. So many cute accessories. Tons of hair scarves, handkerchiefs, headbands, gloves, cute little scarves and hats and everything you could imagine. So much cute stuff. Tons of belts too. Look at all those belts. So adorable. Then we made our way into the backyard, which I gasped. Like, this is the view of Los Angeles down below from up in the hills, and I mean, it was just stunning. There were so many racks of clothing, and I went through every single one. You bet I did. They were all organized extremely well. I loved this American flag one. It was so cute. This woman was typically like a size small medium, so a lot of this I'm just showing just for the fun of it, but I did also pick up a bunch of stuff too. Look at all of these fun blues, like everything from cardigans to blazers to sweaters to denim shirts, everything everything in between. I loved this t-shirt. That was my first item that I was like, okay, now we're starting. Now we're gonna collect and I am on a mission. I loved this short sleeve cardigan. If it wasn't a v-neck, I probably would have gotten it, but I loved the colors, so cute. There were a lot of beiges and kind of more neutrals. There was this rack that was very fancy and sparkly, a lot of beaded tops and blazers and jackets. Look at this sweater. Are you actually joking me? I was really reminded throughout this estate sale how incredible this woman was, and also how they don't make things like this anymore. This cardigan, so funky and cool. This sweater may be one of the most beautiful sweaters I've ever seen. It's vintage, it's stunning. It was a size small, it was half off. Then behind it, another really beautiful cardigan. This one was like a little less vintage, but still so beautiful. There was this blue one. I'm actually sick over this. Like, this is maybe the most perfect sweater I've ever seen. Could be the 90s kid in me, but I mean, I just fell in love with that. So whoever got that was extremely lucky. This one with the polka dots on the bottom, it just kept going. This silk top, we'll talk about it more. Another top that was actually hiding a vintage Victoria's Secret underneath it. Maybe not vintage, but probably from like at least 10 or so years ago. Very cute. I loved this button down that had all of these funky little hats and embroideries and patches. And I mean, it kept going. Like, I'm telling you, it never ended. This cardigan with the faux fur collar was everything to me personally. I just felt like it just kept on going. I was finding gem after gem after gem, and I loved this top. I would have absolutely walked away with that if it was in my size. I really loved this view from the clothing rack. I was like just in my element. There was a vintage pair of, I would assume from like the 80s or so, leather pants that were very thick but very nice. Then I was kind of making my way again through like more of the browns, the neutrals. There were a lot of button down tops. I love this leopard, so pretty. Loved this green sweater. Sorry about my clothing in the corner of the frame here. I feel like all of our dads who used to use their finger and like cover the lens when they were filming us in the 80s and 90s. But anyways, loved this cardigan. I have one that's similar though, so I left it. This jacket, like this little windbreaker, was just so cool. I just could not stop thinking about how amazing this woman was and what an incredible collection of clothing she had in her lifetime, and how I aspire to be that. Look at this cardigan or sweater. Look at the collar. I was dying here. Right behind this was an equally perfect sweater. It was a cardigan actually that had bags. I mean, I'm speechless. There's nothing else I can say other than it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Also, this red sweater right here, I looked a little closer, saw that it was Burberry. I mean, just casual. I actually didn't know that Burberry used to be called Burberry's or Burberry's of London until 1999, so that is at least before 1999. Amazing. Loved the Argyle sweater, loved the striped sweater. We got zebra, we got fur, we got leopard, we got more leather. Like, it's just abundant, and I loved it. I never ever wanted to leave this house. I really loved this beaded top. There were actually a few like it. They're just so well made and intricate and beautiful, and there were even like tank top versions or kind of more like bodice style tops that I really loved. I would have absolutely gone home with that. There was a pair of leather pants that were white that I just thought, you don't see that much anymore. And then I mean this sweater. You know it had to come home with me. It's just the perfect color scheme. It's just the perfect sweater, honestly. So yeah. Then we had this little t-shirt that had shoes on it. There was a matching set of pants and a jacket that had an adorable gingham lining or plaid. I loved how many matching sets there were on this day. There actually were quite a few. Everything from loungewear to more businessy to dressy to everything in between. I loved how many cute, I would assume like pickleball or tennis polos there were. There was this adorable cardigan. There was another one. I can't tell if this is tennis or like pickleball or paddleboard, ball, whatever. I'm not sure. I'm not a sports person. There were lots of those. Then in the midst of all of that, I found maybe one of the cutest sweaters I've ever seen. This butter yellow with hummingbirds and flowers. We will talk more about it. I was like, I can't believe that I just found this. It was so cute. I loved this beaded tank top. I loved so many of these collared sweatshirts. Look how cute that is. It's so Saved by the Bell, late 80s, early 90s. Loved this black, red, and white one. I mean, it just kept coming. This one just felt like something I would wear in like the first few years of my life, and it felt so sweet and nostalgic to me. This blue top was absolutely stunning. I loved it. I was, you know, getting a little weighed down by all of the things that I was holding on to, but I did not care. There were vintage swimsuits. There was just everything you could possibly imagine. Then I moved over to like the men's rack. There was really only one or two, but I found those cool pants that have fun buttons on them. I found, like, I would assume actual military jackets, sweatpants, lots of polos, like pretty much entirely polos, but some athletic jackets, or even a few blazers, like this navy one. There was also this brown kind of suede one that I loved. I thought that was really, really sharp. And then I saw this polo that looked like it was, I would assume, vintage Tommy Hilfiger. I loved the colors, and if I was more of a polo collared shirt girl, I probably would have gone with that. This shirt reminded me of the Taylor Swift red era. I just thought it was so adorable. I loved this sweater. I was kind of going through the things that I had at that point and kind of trying to make my decisions. That felt very 80s to me. I mean, obviously, this came home with me. Hello, it was perfect. I loved this leopard short sleeve sweater. Decided to leave it, but so cute. Look at this one. Oh my gosh, it's so like late 90s, early 2000s. Loved this martini baby tee, I guess you could say, or t-shirt. I thought about cutting off the collar, but I was like, I'll leave it for someone else. Then we got into the pink. Look at this top. I'm blown away. Like the little sailor nautical top, just perfect, absolutely perfect. There were some louder prints. There were a lot of button downs. This red sweater with the sparkles was fabulous. You get the picture, right? Like I was just going and going. I was probably standing out here for almost an hour going through every piece, and I made my selections. I put them on hold. I went back inside just to see if there was anything else, and I found this amazing green and pink room. The green carpet, like, it works in here. I just fell in love with this space. There were so many vintage linens on the bed as well. Everything from sheets to tapestries to pillowcases. As a horse girl, really loved that one. There was just so much cute stuff, lots of floral, and it was beautiful. I love cute little kitschy things like this pillow that says Friends Forever. So cute. I really was contemplating getting some of these sheets and using them for something, but I decided to leave them for someone else. What if they had like a cute kid's bed? Yeah, the green carpet was really doing something to me. Loved the lamps. Loved that this room just felt like girlhood. There were cute little things. There were dolls. There were hobbies. There was physical media. There was a phone. Clearly used to yap on the phone in here. Love that for her. There was lots of beautiful art. I loved this piece. It was a little out of the price range that I'd be looking for, but look at this furniture. Just everything about this house was 20 out of 10. I fell in love. Okay, that was so cool. We were in there for like about an hour. First and foremost, the owner that I mentioned before, Drew overheard somebody talking about him and saying that he passed away at 104 years old. So he lived a really long life. That's amazing. And secondly, his wife, her style was immaculate. Like, I can't even imagine. I'm so mad that I didn't go yesterday because I can only imagine the amount of like vintage cute sweaters and little suits and t-shirts and silk tops and all of these amazing things that she had from, I mean, I saw stuff that looked like it was from like the 60s, 70s, all the way up until recent. So I did end up getting a few things, which we will show later. Drew got a couple of things as well, which I will include in the haul, but now we are at an estate sale for a guy who was the owner of Fred Segal Feet, which is like the Fred Segal or Seagull, I'm not exactly sure how to say it, that store, but they had a shoe branch that was on Melrose from like the 70s all the way up until 2010. I guess it was like an iconic shoe store, and this was the owner of that store. I also saw that he passed away at 90 years old, so very long life. I'm excited to see what we've got. I haven't really looked at these pictures that much. I don't really know what we're in store for, but we're kind of like in the area, so we're gonna check it out and go into estate sale number 2. And maybe we'll go to another one after this. Who knows? I'm feeling crazy. Estate sale number 2 was a really big house as well. And this was in the flats of Beverly Hills. And it was immediately beautiful from the moment I walked in. There was a stunning, huge open living room. There was a lot of art and ceramics, mostly like teapots, but also other little fun kitschy things as well. I deeply related to this little doll that said best stressed. I thought that was very fun. I loved this couch and coffee table combo. I just thought it was so fun and different. I really loved these wood sconces next to this marble fireplace. Look at those Roman shades. There was just lots of really cool character in this house. Oh, there's the bingo card. There were also, I think, more kind of designer purses behind the table. Look at this backyard. Are we joking? This fountain? This is an art installation. This is absolutely stunning, and this is what the back of the house looked like. Like, what a just amazing, incredible house. So there's a sign here that says look in pool house. I need you to remember that, but look at this gorgeous pool, really cool tile motifs like at the bottom of the pool, and then there were neighbors playing like tennis or whatever. So I walk into the pool house because it says look inside the pool house. I'm filming inside the pool house. Oh, super cool. I didn't know that there was a celebrity in there, and I was accidentally gonna film her. And I was just trying to film a beautiful shot of the window, but then I accidentally just filmed an A-list celebrity. Sorry girl, I really wasn't trying to film you. Yeah, we'll talk more about that in a bit. But then we went into what I think was like a study or an office. There was lots of art and figurines and everything from like animal memorabilia to sports. There were these really cool chairs, maybe some of the most unique chairs I've ever seen. It was like very gardeny and cute. I loved that pink furniture. There was a huge walk-in pantry. Could you imagine? That would be such a dream. Then we made our way upstairs, and look at this stairwell and how beautiful that view is looking down. There were tons of the Fred Siegel feet bags. I loved it. I loved how many fun, cool shoes there were. Everything from Dior to Christian Louboutin, Dolce & Gabbana, Alexander McQueen. Like, there was just a never-ending supply of designer shoes, which makes perfect sense. I'm sure there were tons more on the previous days. There were bathing suits. I found this really cute photo frame on a nightstand that I imagine would probably be for a baby. There was more feet bags, and wouldn't you guess it, more shoes. These were set up in the bathroom, which I thought was interesting. So it kind of spilled over from the closet, but there was just such gorgeous shoes. And then right next to it, I just had to mention, because look at this bathtub area. This is a dream bathtub scenario. This gorgeous tiling, the beautiful windows. There's a TV. You can just watch TV in your bathtub. Like, what an absolutely beautiful life. There were so many cute boots that I saw. I wasn't even able to film everything because there were just people everywhere, but so much stunning footwear, which I wouldn't expect anything less. I was really sad that those white fuzzy slides were not in my size. I would have gotten them. There weren't a ton of clothes left on this day, but there were some jackets. I really liked this faux fur red jacket. I really liked this tank top. I considered it. I thought this polka dot blouse was really pretty. There was also a refrigerator in this woman's closet. What a life. You got your safe right next to your refrigerator. So stunning. Would love that. And I really loved this headboard and pillow set, and this view from the closet was just breathtaking. There was a rack of mostly kind of like older to vintage tank tops, and I considered some of them but decided to pass. And then I saw this kind of chaise type of chair that would just be a dream. I would lay on that all the time and just look out at that beautiful pool. There was a bookshelf in there with some artwork. Then there was a hallway that led to kind of like a game room, a billiards room. Drew was calling me over to show me something, which I will talk about later. And there were vintage pinball machines. They were like $3,000, but I mean, a jukebox. Like, there was just everything, and you could tell that there was a lot of hooting and hollering going on in here back in the day, and I loved that. I thought it was really fun. There was a guest room tucked away in the back, tons of furniture, really cool stuff. There was a dartboard on the wall, which again we will talk about. There was a desk with tons of books. There was also a separate room that had a lot of physical media, VHSs, DVDs. It was just really cool, and I just loved making my way through this house and seeing all of the cool things that they had. I was so inspired. Okay, that was so funny and just so many wildly different emotions and things. So I did, as I mentioned, accidentally film a celebrity in there. I don't think I should even say, because I just don't want to like put her on blast. I was trying to film a cute shot of the pool house, and I did, in fact. And then I wasn't even gonna bother and be like, sorry, I wasn't trying to film you. I just was like,
but the way you reacted made it look like you were.
There was no way out of that.
Yeah.
Like, she made eye contact with me, she looked at the camera, and then I just like immediately put it down and I just turned around and walked away. There was nothing I could say that would convince her that I wasn't filming her, but in fact I was not. Anyways, so that was funny. And then I think I probably mentioned this, but it was just by happenstance there was this dartboard that was on the wall in this game room that belonged to Drew's dad, who passed away like almost 16 years ago.
One, not
the exact same. Well, yeah,
not his.
It wasn't his, but like it was the, you know, exact replica of it. And so we decided to get it, and so now we're gonna like put it in our garage maybe.
It's
or
just the case, or we have to find like a
it's like definitely a project, but it's just extra special that we've been getting these like little winks, and it's just weird that like of all of the estate sales we could have gone to, we chose to come to these ones today. So anyways, that was really special. But now we are outside of our final estate sale of the day, number 3. So we'll see what ends up happening. It's a beautiful area and I love going through people's stuff, so let's do it. Respectfully, let's do it. This estate sale was a little further south in Beverly Hills, and it was really cool. I love this neighborhood. I've been here before, and I loved this old house. I think it was actually maybe technically an apartment, but this was much more of a different estate sale, and I liked that we went to this because I like showing different varieties. Some of them are very curated and very kind of like fancy with security and a ticketing system, and then other ones are much more of like a rummage kind of sale. Like you have to really be in the mood to dig. Also, look at this wallpaper and tile. That was so pretty. There were just a lot of things scattered in a bunch of different rooms. I loved all of the furniture and artwork. There was lots of really cute home decor, but again, it's kind of one of those things where you have to be in the mood to dig around. Loved all of those pillowcases, tapestry ones, needlepoint ones, the floral. Loved those chairs, the tile in the kitchen and the cabinets. Oh my gosh, it was so darling. It makes me so sad to know that probably it's gonna get ripped out because it's like, you know, 50 years old. There was a garage or a carport that had a bunch of books, so if you were a book lover, you could really go nuts in here. I noticed a lot of cookbooks too, so this person must have really loved cooking or must really love cooking. And there were lots of magazines, physical media, so much to go through and choose from, and it was all really cute. There was also this gorgeous chest that was right next to it that would be great for storage and also just a decor piece. There was a pile of some clothing in this room. I found this box of color slides. Actually, Drew found it. I'm not going to show you like their personal family photos, but I thought that was really sweet and special. I loved this velvet skirt. I loved all of the designs on it. I think the reason I didn't get it is because it wasn't in my size. There were tons of racks of shoes, so lots of different things to choose from in tons of different colors. I loved these red shoes. Those felt very 90s to me. There were lots of flats and slip-ons. I also really liked this pair of kind of lower heels that were sort of like a patchwork, and I thought those were adorable. Felt very, yeah, again, like what my teachers would wear in the 90s. There was a patchwork bag. There were tons of other bags. There was actually a huge pile of clothes on here. I just wasn't really in the mood to dig, but I loved a lot of the stuff I saw here. All right, so we just finished with the last one. We were only in there for like a few minutes. It was just like the last day, so I feel like a lot of stuff had been like rummaged through, and that was definitely the vibe that I got. Like if you were a rummager, that's the sale for you. And it was cool. It was nice to, actually I ran into one of my friends who was there, so that was really cool to see her and to just see what kind of stuff people collected in their lifetime. So anyways, we're gonna head home. I'll wash and sanitize everything, and then I'll show you what we got for an estate sale haul. But what a lovely morning. It's now I think officially noon, so we spent a lovely morning for about 2 hours estate sailing in Beverly Hills. What could be better? All right, we're back. It's a couple days later. Here is everything I picked up at the estate sale. We're gonna go through all of it. I truly had the time of my life. It's such a blast, and I love being able to give extra life to these pieces that these people aren't able to wear anymore, are parting ways with, whatever, and it's so special. So here's my pile of stuff from the first estate sale. As I mentioned, everything was 50% off, so I got like a decent deal, but with estate sales, a lot of times, depending, they can be a little more expensive. So starting from the very top, I actually originally got this for Drew, and it's kind of a little snug on him, so I'm just gonna wear it myself. And this is by the brand Visitor. It is a collared sort of polo sweater, but I love the colors. I love the pattern. I think this will be so fun for fall. I picture this with maybe like some corduroy pants and Doc Martens, some cute glasses, just something very cozy and cutesy for fall time. I love brown. Obviously, I'm like surrounded by it. And I love the brown and blue combo. I think it's so pretty. I want to say I got this for like $10 because I think it was originally $20. I got it for half off. This is also a 70% silk and 30% cotton sweater, so it's really good quality. It's gonna withstand the test of time. It already has. And I'm going to take very good care of it. It's got lint all over it from being washed, but it's so cozy and comfy. It's going to be perfect for those sort of like early fall days where it's a little bit chilly, but it's not super cold yet, you know? This next item might be one of my favorite things. It is so beautiful and it makes me feel so nostalgic and excited in all of the things. And this is a 100% silk top. This is so fabulous and gorgeous. I immediately pictured this with like a black velvet maxi skirt and like really kind of a 90s vibe, maybe some combat boots or even like a short black skirt with some taller black boots or brown or whatever. It's so pretty. I love these colors. It's kind of like a chartreusey lime green with like mustard and this kind of burnt orange, and there's a little bit of cheetah print and a little bit of leopard print. It's by the brand Allison Taylor. Oh, okay, just kidding. It's 100% silk in the lining and then it's 100% polyester on the outside. But it's still so beautiful. I love the flutter sleeves and this just makes me feel so nostalgic and happy, and it's gonna just be one of those like fun sort of Julia Gulia inspired late 80s early 90s style outfits, and I love it. Next up, I got a t-shirt. This is by the brand St. John's Bay. I feel like that's like a classic. You find it at every thrift store, every estate sale. It's just a go-to for typically like the boomer generation, and this shirt is so cute. I thought it would be adorable as like a little baby tee on its own, but I also think it'd be fun to add little things to it, either from my Cricut or maybe learn to like sew something on there or whatever. But it says Lucky and I love it, and it's in these cute little kind of sequins and they're iridescent and I love the color. I think it looks really good with my hair and it brings out my eyes and it's so adorable. I want to say this was like $5, so not too bad, and it's like something a little different, and it's, I don't think vintage, but it's cute and I like it. Next, this is absolutely vintage, and this is by the brand Brittany Black. It is so faded in the tag department that I can't tell what the material is, but oh my gosh, look at this 90s top. Look how cute it is. Look at the 3/4 sleeves, look at the roses, look at the colors. It's stretchy, it's comfy, it's almost kind of a slinky material. It's gonna be so pretty styled with different things for, again, like a very 90s look. I'm just in love with this. I wasn't 100% sure if it was gonna fit. I think it's a size medium, so I was just gonna give it to one of my friends if it didn't fit, but it does. It's like really snug, but in all of the right ways. It looks so cute with a little black skirt, which is how I tried it on, but I think with a black maxi skirt it would be adorable. Even like some baggy jeans, I think it would be really cute, and it's just gonna be a very versatile, fun little statement top for me to wear honestly any time of year, but I especially was thinking of it for fall time, so I'm very excited about that. The last two clothing items I got from this estate sale are two sweaters, and they're kind of like very spring appropriate, so I was happy about that. And the first one is from Jones New York Sport, and it's this striped cardigan that zips up. Are you joking me? I love these colors so much. I love this look so much. Picture this with like a pair of white kind of like ruffly shorts and maybe some tall boots, or like a black skirt and some tall boots, or even just baggy jeans and flip-flops. Like, it's just so perfect. It fits me perfectly. I like that you can sort of wear it all the way zipped up if you want to, or you can zip it down a little bit and have a little sleeve showing if that's your vibe. It's so pretty. I could not dream of a better color scheme. Like, I love this so much. It feels very kind of like early 2000s to me, or maybe even like 2010s. I love these colors. I think this is my second favorite thing of the entire day. And the last thing from this estate sale is like just such a gem, and there were so many like this, and I had to be discerning, but I had to go for this one. And this is by the brand Storybook Knits. It says exclusively for Home Shopping Network. That's iconic. And it is this absolutely stunning cardigan. Look how funky this is. I know that I'm kind of like not supposed to do the whole butter yellow thing because hair, skin, sweater, sort of all one color a little bit, but I don't care. It's so pretty. I love it so much. I love the checkers along the lining, like the collar, and it goes all the way down the front. The buttons have these sort of iridescent pink beads on them. There are hummingbirds and flowers and bees and more flowers, and it's like, look at this. Look at the back. There's a bee on the back. Are you joking me? This is the most adorable Miss Honey cozy cottagecore sweater ever. Like, I feel so lucky that I got this. I want to say this was the most expensive thing. I think after it being half off, it was like almost $20, and I was like, I don't care. I'll take it. Oh, and then other little things that we got from this estate sale. These were actually Drew's. He picked up this, which is called the Charlie Jones Famous Laugh Book. It has jokes in it, and that's just so cute to have on like a bookshelf. He got this book on Japan by Nations and People's Library. can't promise that there's not something problematic in there. I don't know, we'll find out. And then he got The Fires of Heaven by Robert Jordan. He reads some of his books, so all of those were a really good deal. And that was the first estate sale. Now moving into the second one. This was crazy, and I talked about it a little bit in the actual thrifting portion, but we found an exact replica of a dartboard that Drew's dad used to have, which is really extra special, and we obviously had to get it. They made sort of like a big deal about it. They were like, it's gonna fall apart, you have to pay us before you try to take it off the wall. It just had 4 nails in it, and they were really easy to get off the wall. It's just the nicest little touch that we're gonna have in our garage, and something really, really sweet and special, and it meant something to someone that had it in their house for years, and now it means something extra special to us, and it's gonna stay in Drew's family forever too. So love that. And then of course we had to get one of the iconic Fred Segal feet bags. Like, that's just so funny and cool. And actually I think they were charging maybe like $2 or $5 per bag or something like that. And we got up to the front and the guy was like, just take it. So we took it. He said, it's on us, and he gave it to us for free. So we got a free little bag. I will absolutely, you know, have this out and about because this store doesn't exist anymore. And then the third estate sale, we didn't get anything. So that is everything we got. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also turn on my post notifications if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. And let me know if you want to see more estate sales, like if that's something you want to see more frequently. I think it's so much fun to do. I volunteer as tribute, so let me know if you want to see that in a comment. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all of my love, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.